This week's featured drum is a classic 6.5x14 chrome over aluminum Ludwig Supraphonic. This is from the 70s with the blue olive badge. This is a very special drum for me. I actually snagged this shell out of the garbage in high school. The band director was going to throw away a bunch of random hardware and stuff, and there were a couple Supraphonic shells in there, believe it or not. So I just asked him if I could take it, and there were some old hoops in there and some random tension rods. So I was able to kind of put together a snare drum out of a bunch of junk. So the hoops are not original, they're just some triple flange. Maybe they're Ludwig, I'm not sure. But either way, this drum has been a go-to for me ever since. I put it together in high school, having no clue what it was or what it could do. I just wanted to have another snare drum that wasn't my Pro Export drum. And it's ended up proven to be one of my favorite drums, and almost everyone that hears it when I record with it says it's one of their favorite drums. I don't even tell them that it was garbage because it is a Supraphonic, which goes to show how timeless and sturdy these things are. This was probably in a bin with no hoops on it or anything for a decade or more, and it still tunes up great, it sounds great, it records amazing. This is obviously my go-to for anything classic rock or John Bonham, but this drum is incredibly versatile. I've used it for everything from straight ahead jazz, symphonic work, theater work, country, train beats with some brushes, funk, heavy metal, hard rock. It's kind of a be-all, do-all snare drum. This would be, if push came to shove and you said I had to pick one snare drum to use for the rest of your life, it would probably be 6.5x14 Supraphonic. Ironically, this is the drum I literally paid nothing for, but it's been an awesome drum. I changed the wires at some point, maybe a decade ago. These are Pure Sound, I believe they're blaster wide strainers, which again, I was trying to get the maximum John Bonham factor out of this drum. Standard Remo Ambassador snare on the bottom. That's probably been on there since the 90s. On top, I have this Aquarian. It's a black coated Response 2, so it's a 2-ply head with a coating that's just been painted black. Again, going for the Bonham vibe. It currently is dampened with 2 pieces of gaffer's tape because the last time I used this drum was for a session where the artist producer wanted to sound like the Black Keys. So for that vibe, I thought it needed to be a little bit deader, but still kind of have that classic rock sound. When I think of Black Keys, that's kind of what I think of, a compressed but kind of classic, timeless sound. Supraphonic does that really well. I updated the throw off because the one that was on it would come loose in the middle of a song, so I couldn't really like tour with it or take it out live. It was just a studio piece. So I replaced it with the Donette R-Class. This thing is pretty much bulletproof, so I can take this drum on the road if I wanted to. I also added some Canopus leather washers at all the tension rods. That kind of helps. This drum is notorious for detuning after a few rim shots, so that kind of keeps the tuning steady. I also put some Canopus red lug lockers on here. It also helps right at the rim shot spot. You can hear there's a bolt inside that has come off one of the inside of the lugs. So it's a little bit of a testy drum. It's an old drum, but surprisingly, it's been reliable, dependable, always sounds great. I really can't make it sound bad. So what you're going to hear first is with this medium tuning with the tape on it, kind of where I left it after the last session. Then I'm just going to pull the tape off, play it, unmuffled where it's at, tune it way up without even checking it, just kind of randomly tighten things up, randomly tune things down. Hopefully you'll hear the versatility in this drum. Even when it's wide open, the overtones are just pleasing. They're never really annoying or too like laser focused. This is a great drum. It blends with tracks really well for recording. So let's check it out. So that's it, the classic Ludwig 6.5x14 Supraphonic chrome over aluminum. I really think every snare collection needs one of these. I think it's the end-all be-all of just general all-purpose snare drums. It can do the classic rock thing really well, but it can do a whole lot more than that. So get yourself one of these. If you're lucky, you'll find one pretty cheap. If not, even brand new, they're not that expensive. So get yourself a 6.5x14 Ludwig Supraphonic. This is my dumpster find version. And then next time we'll talk about the shallower drum. So thanks for checking it out. If you like what you see here, please share, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions or requests about other things for me to feature. By the way, this is a new vintage Rogers 70s bass drum that I just acquired. Wide open, haven't changed the heads at all. The front head is the original Rogers head. I think it's pretty fun, so I'll probably feature this entire kit in a future video. I might even do a shootout of vintage Rogers versus vintage Slingerland versus vintage Ludwig. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for checking out. See you next time.